The picture you have seen is that one of Sylvanus Melea Otieno. Most of the people knew him as S.M. Otieno. He had a case, and the case was very interesting. He died around 1986. This is his story. He came from Siaya, at a village called NYALGUNGA. And he came from a clan called Umirakager. It became, after his death, it became so obvious that, the case went on for a long time until some things that were connected to him were incorporated into Sheng. Although it became temporary, nowadays do not use it, but in the 90s, those names were used. The name NYALGUNGA. NYALGUNGA is the village that he came from. So, for some time, the name Oshago was replaced by the name NYALGUNGA. You would find a lot of people, including whispers. When they want to go home, they say, I'm going to NYALGUNGA. But that one was short-lived. It went back to the name Oshago. Another name that temporarily became a Sheng word was Umirakager. So when somebody was talking about his or her clan at home, they say, my Umirakager is Samo, meaning my clan is Samo. But it stopped there. This fellow became a lawyer, and he was so successful as a lawyer, especially criminal lawyer. It was joked that once SM Otieno is hired to defend a criminal, then a murderer is released. He knew all the weaknesses of a case. So just get him, and then you win the case. But like most perfect people, I'll give you an example of Nelson Mandela. Mandela is one of the most honored Africans ever. But look at his home family. You are successful out there, but in the family, you are the opposite. He had bought land at Ngong. At a place called Upper Matasia. When he died, he married Wambui Otieno. Wambui was a member of the Waiyaki family, the great Waiyaki family. She was a freedom fighter. But when they got married, she had kids. He adopted those kids as though they were his. They also adopted kids who were not theirs. And they had their kids. So, Wambui's kid, their kids, and the kids that they adopted, mostly from people known to them, close people who die, and then they adopt their kids and made them theirs. So here he was, a very successful lawyer, Those days we did not have senior counsel. But if there were senior counsels then, he would have easily qualified. Then he died. When he died, Wambui Otieno wanted him to be buried in Ngong at a place called Upper Matasia. The Umirakager, through a brother of S.M. Otieno, did not want. They wanted him to be buried in his ancestral home in Siaya at a place called NYALGUNGA. The case was taken. His brother took the case to the High Court. Took the case to the High Court, where the High Court decided that he be buried in NYALGUNGA. Wambui Otieno took the case to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal ruled that he should be buried in NYALGUNGA on these grounds. And you know, most of the 2010 Constitution, or even 2005 and further Constitution, we make Constitution bearing in mind some of the cases that are happening. For example, according to the High Court and the law and the Court of Appeal, by then we did not have a Supreme Court. They said that in the absence of a will, the interest of the dead person is taken over by the clan and not the widow. To them, actually they even used the word repugnant. They said that the wishes of a clan, so long as the wishes of the clan is not repugnant, then it surpasses even your will. But today, any statement that is called a will has more power than even what other people say. Now, who was Wambui Otieno's lawyer? It was John Haminwa. And who was Umirakager's lawyer? It was Richard Quach. Now, in Luhya, the name Haminwa means kamefinywa. And how is the name Haminwa gotten in Luhya? When growing up, you can be a male and you have sisters, several. You find that the sisters dominate over you, they overrule you, they wanakufinya. So some names, like even my own name, Huatenge. Huatenge is not a name, it's a statement. Haminwa means kamefinywa. Huatenge means son of Tenge, or Hua, son of Arab, or is it Ole? Tenge. Tenge is somebody who was born alone. He had no siblings. And it is not somebody who was born with others and they died. No. It is just that God just gave his mother one child. And then the child being either a lady or a gent, just called Tenge. But if the Tenge is a man, his kids will always call themselves Huatenge. Haminwa is somebody who was born, a man who was born with the sisters, and the sisters dominated over him. And then they say kakafinyiliwa, Haminwa. Quach. Quach in Luo is a leopard. So this man was buried in NYALGUNGA in Siaya. Wambui Otieno died recently, but then later she got married to a man called, I've forgotten the name of the young man, but she got married to a man who was called Mbogwa. Yeah, he was called Mbogwa. Now she got married to Mbogwa, and age-wise, Mbogwa was the age of her grandchildren. Her children never objected to it. And even the law states that so long as Mbogwa is over 18 and of sound mind, and Wambui Otieno is over 18 of sound mind, and you know, we have men of Wambui Otieno's age who get married to women the age of Mbogwa. So why is it that way? So they stayed well until Wambui Otieno died. When Wambui Otieno died, Mbogwa attended the funeral and he was consoled like any other widower. But after the wedding, watoto wa Wambui Otieno walimfukuza. That is the end of the story about, real story. This is the end of the real story about Silvanus Melea Otieno.